Open System Settings on KDE today. You have a sidebar on the left. You click on a category, a sublist appears. You click on the sublist, another list appears. You click again, and you finally reach the module you were looking for. 3 clicks to change the cursor theme. 3 clicks for something that should be immediately visible, immediately accessible, immediately clickable. Let me say it clearly. KDE System Settings is an abomination. Every time I open it, I get dizzy. It makes me feel disoriented, like falling into a void. KDE is the most customizable desktop environment in existence. Everyone loves it. I love it too. But I believe that a huge number of people find its control center simply unbearable. I call it pachydermic, a place where rationality has been replaced by something I still can't quite define. This is not progress. This is regression. And today I'm going to explain why and what I did about it. Look at this screenshot, KDE 4, year 2008. You open System Settings and you see everything. A grid of icons organized by category, everything visible at a glance. Cursors, right there. Fonts, there. Display, there. Keyboard, there. One click and you're in. There is nothing to search for. There is nothing to navigate. Everything is visible. Everything is immediate. Then KDE 5 arrived, and someone decided that grid was too simple. You need a sidebar. You need a navigation hierarchy. You need a search field because without it you can't find anything anymore. Think about that for a second. When software needs a search field to find its own features, it means those features are hidden. And hidden features are useless features. KDE 6 refined this approach further. The modules themselves are excellent, better than ever, technically speaking, but the interface that contains them has become more complex, more layered, more opaque. A side panel with categories that contain subcategories that contain modules, a 3-level hierarchy to access what used to be one click away. The software got worse, not in the code, not in the features, not in stability, in the interface, in the daily experience of using it. Graphical interfaces follow precise rules, precise laws, almost proportional ones. Think of a sculpture. Imagine if the head or the torso were a third larger than the rest. Wouldn't it look wrong? That's exactly what I'm talking about. What I'm asking for is not a revolution. I'm asking for a return to beauty, to harmony, to logic, to usability. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much. Why does the grid work better? It's not nostalgia. It's not resistance to change. It's how the human brain works. Don Norman, in his book The Design of Everyday Things, describes the concept of affordance, the ability of an object to visually communicate its own use. A handle communicates turn me. A button communicates press me. A grid of icons communicates choose what you need. A text list in a sidebar communicates read, then navigate, then search. These are 2 completely different cognitive models. One is visual and spatial, the other is verbal and sequential. And for a control panel you use every single day, the spatial model wins every time. After a week with the grid, you know where the cursor module is not because you remember it in words, but because you remember its position. The same way you know where the salt is in your kitchen. The same way you know where the ESC key is on your keyboard without looking. It's spatial memory, one of the most powerful cognitive tools we have. The sidebar destroys this mechanism. Every time you open System Settings, you start from zero. You read, you navigate, you search. There is nothing to remember spatially because everything is text, everything is a list, everything scrolls vertically in an identical way. And the search field KDE added to compensate? It's an implicit admission of the problem. You're patching a hole with a Band-Aid. I want to steal just 1 minute of your time on something that has nothing to do with this video but that I care deeply about. Systemd. If you use Linux and you have never questioned your init system, now is the time to start. Systemd is no longer just an init system. It has become a monolith that controls your boot, your logs, your network, your DNS, and now even age verification. Its binaries are copyright protected. It destroys the Unix philosophy of small, focused, composable tools, and it puts your control over your own system at risk. This matters. The survival of Linux as a free, independent system that puts the user in charge depends on the choices we make today. There are exceptional distributions that do not use Systemd. Void Linux, my daily driver. MX Linux if you want something user-friendly. Artix as a clean arch alternative. Devuan, which is essentially Debian without systemd, Gen 2 for full control and optimization, Slackware, the oldest active Linux distribution still standing on its own principles, and many, many others. For information, support, and help migrating, visit systemdfree.com. Do not underestimate the importance of your init system. At this point, I stopped complaining and did something. I looked at the Qt documentation, which is excellent, one of the best I've ever read. I understood the basic concepts. I read the front-end code that ties all the modules together and realized that building a new one with a completely different structure would be child's play, less than 1,000 lines of code. Don't judge the aesthetics. This is just a proof of concept, not ready for release. It has obvious UI limitations, but that's not the point. What you're seeing is called KSettings. It's not a serious application, it's a proof of concept, an experiment. But it runs on my desktop, it's fully functional, and it demonstrates something precise. The core idea is this: KDE's configuration modules already exist and they're perfect. They're called KCMs, KDE configuration modules. Each one can be launched with the command KCM shell 6. Display, audio, keyboard, Bluetooth, everything. They are the back end. What was missing was a different front end. And that's all KSettings is, an alternative container that takes the same KCMs and shows them in a grid of icons, exactly like KDE 4. Fixed layout with 4 columns, or dynamic that adapts to the window width. Small, medium, large icons. Real-time search. Pure Unix philosophy. Every program does one thing and does it well. The KCMs configure, KSettings displays, no modules rewritten, no features duplicated. Just a different interface on top of what already exists. Around 200 lines of Python. An afternoon of work. Not because I'm a genius, but because KDE's architecture is well designed, and this separation between front-end and back-end was already there, already possible, already ready. I stopped here, but the roads forward are many. A simple version and an advanced one with all the customizations, completely different concepts. The only limit is imagination, and the willingness not to settle for that text sidebar. Why did KDE make this choice? I don't think it's bad faith. I think it's the same phenomenon we see everywhere in modern software: homogenization through mutual influence. GNOME has the sidebar. Windows Settings has the sidebar. macOS System Preferences, which by the way had a beautiful grid, became a list too, and so everyone converges toward the same pattern, not because it's proven to be better, but because it looks more modern, more familiar, more aligned with the expectations of users coming from other systems. The problem is that this process pushes all software toward the same point, toward interfaces designed for first-time use, not for daily use. An interface optimized for someone who doesn't know what they're looking for is by definition suboptimal for someone who knows exactly what they want. This is not a criticism of KDE's developers. KDE is an extraordinary project, maintained by volunteers, with a technical quality that rivals any commercial software. The problem is not the individual developers. The problem is systemic, it's collective. And I have been trying for a long time to move in this direction, to give strong but constructive criticism that can contribute to making KDE better, not simply to trash it in moments of frustration. That's not the point. It has never been the point. Linux is the space where these drifts can be corrected. You don't have to wait for a roadmap. You don't have to convince a product manager. You don't have to wait for the next major release. You can take what you don't like and change it. Or at least, you can demonstrate that it can be changed. I moved from criticizing to doing. Not much, not perfectly, not with the most elegant code in the world, but enough to prove the point. KSettings is a personal experiment. It's not an open source project. It's not something I will update or distribute. It's simply the answer to one question. Can it be done? Yes. Can it be done in an afternoon? Yes. Do you need to be an experienced developer? No. If you're a developer with the right skills and you find the idea interesting, you have everything you need to build something serious. The architecture is there. The front-end back-end separation is there. KCM Shell 6 is there. In the meantime, the next time you open System Settings and make 3 clicks to find what you're looking for, you know it doesn't have to be that way. See you in the next video, and may Linux be with you.